I was born in West Africa, Liberia, and I was born in Buchanan. It's 88 miles away from the capital, Monrovia. And growing up in Buchanan was awesome, was beautiful. It was, right by the Atlantic Ocean. We have a lot of great lakes and rivers. And I used to love swimming. I used to love the river. I used to love fishing, you know, and beating drums. I always used to beat cans when mom go shopping and come back with some empty tinapa cup. We'll open it. They will throw it away. I won't throw it away. I'll just sit down and beat it. Get two little sticks and beat it, and try to make reading out of, what I'm doing. And Buchanan, man, I love Buchanan. I live right in central Buchanan, right with this spot. That's where I was, I knew myself to be, and that's where I was before the 1990 Civil War hit. So, yeah, I'm from West Africa, Liberia. Well, growing up in Liberia, my days I remember growing up in Liberia, it was wonderful. Growing up as a child, I remember I was always sickly. I was a sick child. I was born with a big ball on the back of my neck that hindered me from, doing things that other kids did, and I remember I went through numerous surgeries on my neck. And the last surgery I had, I think I was at the age of 4 or 5, and they told my parents that if he had any surgery anymore, he's in a dangerous spot, something might happen to him. And that's when, my parents stopped, but and later on they discovered it was just a bunch of fat powder on my neck, and they took some of the fat out. And I was home for a little while. I saw my brothers going to school, having fun with other kids, and my mom always told me to be careful, trying to baby me, but I was never trying to be a baby. I always trying to go out there and, play football with my friends in the neighborhood, have fun with my brothers, and, get to know how, my brother friends and people, different people, just meet different people. That's who I always been about. And I remember one time, my mom told me, no, you can't do that because the doctor said you shouldn't be rough for yourself. And she kind of handled me a lot. So I still let myself, music, start listening to the radio. Start listening to gospel music. In fact, I started listening to gospel music and started singing by myself and even rewriting the music that I listened to. And it just became part of me. When the war hit, 1990, we started migrating from where we were in Buchanan, and it was a tough one again. We walked days and nights, and from city to villages, from county to counties. I remember this one incident in Banga, which is Bon County, Kakatan. It was again when the rebels started capturing that place. It was a war. We got to escape, and when we escaped this time, we never stopped. We walked from Banga all the way to Yekepa. In Yekepa, we crossed to Guinea, and that's when I finally left my country. But in Guinea, we used to come back in Yekepa to look for straps. We used to come to find Ale and other things we call copper, and take it back to Guinea and sell. That's how my family was surviving, and I was a big part of this at my early age. I was a really big part of, providing for my family at that time because my dad tried, and I remember my dad and I went, and we're coming back, and we got caught up with some rebels, and they never played. They beat my dad so bad in front of me, and they took off my brother's clothes, and even, I'll be straight up, they took off his clothes and made him to put his hand down on the ground, and and his face up in the air. And I asked the guy why. The guy said, because your brother never brought me a pack of cigarettes. I told him before he used this route, he should bring me a pack of cigarettes every time he used this route. And that's the kind of hustle we were doing things like that to survive in Guinea. And it was a tough time. It was a tough time, and after that incident, my brother said, no, I'm not going back. So at that time, I have to take the responsibility to really, be the full breadwinner for my family. This right here, my family can really sit down and explain to you better. They will tell you, Yujah never gave up. He was always up front, trying to make sure the family can survive, trying to make sure the family is fed and everything. And, yeah, but it's more to this story that, as I say, if you listen to that refugee track, it will tell you. It tell you a lot about, what I went through during this time, what people went through. We're not alone. It's a bunch of family, a bunch of people just migrating from, city to villages and trying to find a way, trying to find a better place to live, to survive with the family. So it was the chaos, and we go places that, we get robbed. We live in little tiny villages that in the middle of nowhere. Those guys that just come with an AK-47, give me this, give me that, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta give it up. And those are the things I grew up seeing. Even when I crossed over to Guinea, it was the same thing. It was the same thing because we have to go back in Yekepa, which was the border between Guinea and Liberia. We have to go and look for straps in the company yard and bring it back to Guinea and get it sold to feed family. And as I say, I got so used to that. People started trusting me with their kids. Oh, you can take my son along, or you can take this person. Oh, we are starving, and what I learned, I started giving it to other kids, and that's how we survived those kind of days. There was difficult days of my life in Guinea, and for Guinea, there was an incident I remember. This is the tough part, I can still remember, and people were asking why all this year I've been holding back on it, but sometimes you tell people things they don't really realize that what you're saying, because people just say things out of the blue without thinking about it. But this one fine day, I took a trip alone by myself, and I went across the border from Guinea to Liberia, which is just a little, I would say we walk probably about 5 miles, sometimes it's get longer because we have to duck all these checkpoints and all these rebels. So you don't want to get hurt, but at the same time you want to take care of your family. You want to make sure your family is straight. You're in a strange land. You're in a different country. You're a refugee in a different country. So there's no job for a refugee in the country. And where we were, there was nothing. What was there just like a bunch of farmers and shepherds that raised sheep and all these things, and soldiers guarding the boundary between Liberia and Guinea. So whatever you do, you have to watch every step and every move you make, and you have to trust people that you're trying to do business with. So I met a guy that told me like, hey man, I got a load I want for you to help me bring back from Liberia to Guinea, and it's a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. And I said, okay, sure. I didn't know him, but at the time, I would do anything for the money. Anything, just to take care of my family, just to make sure my family have a meal for that day or for tomorrow, for now. And we went in the area together. He knew his route, we took a long route, and he knew his route. We went down hills, slow valleys, and it was a narrow route. But we successfully went and got his crew that was bringing it back, and we got attacked. And he left me. When he left me, they told me, this gun guy told me like, hey, it was 2 guys. They had AK there. Hey, you better give me that or we're gonna shoot you. I'm like, well, why are you gonna shoot me? Can we just take the shit and sell it and get this thing taken care of and sort it out some way, and just I can give you half of the money and I can take half of the money because I came a long way, man. I can just lose this, man. This is what I do, and this is how I feed my family right now. I got a little sister that needs some medication, and I have to take this and sell it. So, and one said, no, you either give it to me or I'll shoot you. And right there, I don't know what came out. Like, well, if you want to shoot me, you can go ahead. And he just like shot me right there. He just literally, he shot me. And I remember that time, when he shot me, there was no other incident I remember, but I just remember later on waking up in a pool of water. And when I woke up in that water and I look, it's rain. it rained, and I didn't know how to make my way back to Guinea. But when I made my way back to Guinea, that's why. And my mom saw my mom like, "What's wrong with you?" And and that's the only word I remember saying. And I just crashed. And when I crashed, it was a whole new world. It was a whole new beginning for me. I couldn't do nothing. I was just, down. I was so aching to a point that I was dry. I was so dry like a stick. I couldn't eat. I couldn't turn and lay on the right or left side because there was no hospital to take me to for medical treatment. Well, I came to America on a resettlement program. As a refugee, the resettlement program is a program that America and United Nations and other NGOs and non-governmental, team up together to resettle refugees that couldn't go back to Liberia because of the brutality or because of things they went through during the Civil War. So luckily for me, I had my sister that was living in the States. She lived here for so long that she applied and we got qualified. But when we got qualified, it took her at least about 9 years for everything to come true. And during that process in Ghana, West Africa, I lost my dad, and that didn't, that took a lot away from me. Because he was a mentor, he was a role model, and he was a good, an awesome dad. I know everybody has an awesome dad, but and so after the 9 years, I ended up in Indiana in the middle of the cornfield. And I traveled a couple of places. I live in Newark, New Jersey. I live in Resettlement, Newark. All my neighbors up there. And I live in Texas, the Longhorn State. How that is. Houston represent. The man Paul Wild. Slim Tuck. I also live in little town in Philly, Resettlement, Philly. That boy McMill holding it down. Travel a lot, man. Been around, and I always end up back in Indiana because where family are and where my producer is, where I make good music. Then after that, how we do, go back around the world. But there's nowhere like home, sweet home Liberia. Well, I listen to hip hop, I listen to gospel music, I listen to pretty much alternative. I listen to jazz, I listen to rock, I listen to reggae, I listen to, you name it. I listen to a lot of different music, and that's who I've been, and that's what I'm gonna be. You would catch me listening to some music. You listen to that? So yeah. Sometimes you can catch me listening to Kelly Clarkson. You can catch me listening to Carrie Underwood. You can catch me listening to, Ruby Styler. You can catch me listening to Jahan. You can catch me listening to Boys to Make. You can catch me listening to Off War, you can catch me listen to Elton John, you can catch me listen to, Drake, you can catch me listen to Wayne, you can catch me listen to Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, and, Carmen from Chicago. He's one of my best, I love Carmen Rye, that's one of my role models. And I like people like Tom Lee and, Mos Def. Those are people that, I really look up to. I like the music. The music means a lot to me, and people always think that I'm from the East Coast. When I rap, they're like, "Oh, you from New York?" Or they, kind of get that sense of my accent. They're like, "Oh, you from the Caribbean?" They always call me Jamaican. They're like, "Oh, you gotta put some of that reggaeton on my music." I'm like, "Well, first of all, I'm not from Jamaica, but hey, one love to all my Jamaicans, Bombo Clyde, hey, Bolo Cala boy." I love those boys, man. Yeah, but people always kind of, misquote me for Jamaican, and I'm like, no, I'm African, but I can do the same reggaeton. Peace out. Well, I grew up in Liberia. As I said, during my childhood, I was really sickly, and I went through a lot of surgery, so I was always by myself, and I was always lonely. All my brothers were out playing football, and I would sit there and listen to radio. I mean, majority of the time was gospel music, and I would just sit there and write from what I listen to. I would come up with my own words and my own, I mean, rhymes, or just perfecting out music that I just listened to, and nobody knew at the time. And I started writing a lot. I started writing poem and beating drums, and my mom would come from the market, buy a tinapa. When she opened the cup, I'll put it between my leg and just beat it. Sometimes take stick and beat it, and I started developing patterns in the store, in beating drums and all the things. So I just felt, that at that time was what I needed. I just needed music to relieve me, to make me feel like I'm somebody, to make me feel like I can carry on the next day. I can, I can live. I can, be out there with other kids and playing, and doing what they do. So I mean, it didn't go away. I mean, I just grew up writing, listening to music, and it was surprising that when I moved to Ghana, during my days in high school in Ghana, I used to, always try to be ahead of the entertainment group. Always try to rap with other kids, always freestyle with, with other people, and they would tell me like, oh man, hey, you need to go up there during entertainment day, you need to go show your talent, man, you're good, you need to go show your talent. And I never start writing a whole stack or just songs, from gospel to, hip hop, R&B, rap, and during the days I started listening to rap. When I started listening to rap, my my writing started transitioning, but it didn't transition too much because I still speak my mind. I still speak of what I went through and what's out there and how I feel at the moment I'm writing. I still speak of stuff like that, and that's the awesome part of music. That's just writing and saying how you feel at that moment, and just how relief it is. And I just love music, and I'm not gonna stop. Music always gave me that relief. Music always gave me that sense of I'm happy. I can listen to the music that I listen to when I'm and dad was together, and I just feel like it brings back memories. It's at the same time it brings a lot of healing to you. Music brings a lot of healing. I mean, no matter what kind of music it is, I will tell you the fact, no matter what kind of music it is, everybody has the favorite music. Everybody has a couple of favorite music that they listen to. Why they listen to it? Because when they listen to that music, they feel so relieved. They feel they themselves. They feel just like, okay, this is me. I can do this. I can, walk up there and get that job. I can walk up there and be a successful entrepreneur. I can walk up there and be a successful musician, artist, and whatever you do, people listen to music. As you said, I always write good music. I mean, I try all I can to write good music and do good music, and that's what I've been about. So. I remember when I started going to school, was kindergarten, and my parents always tell me, hey, if you do good, we're gonna get you a new soccer ball. At that time, soccer was really a thing. Every neighborhood, every kid want to have one for them to bring it out and play with the kids. So we used to set up a team, like go and play each other, probably every weekend. And I remember this one time, they told me that, hey, you're gonna be the goalie today, which we call the keeper. You're gonna be the goalie. And I'm like, me? They're like, you're gonna be the goalie. And I was excited. I haven't really done that before. I always been in the field playing, passing, and doing all this stuff. But there's this one kid, he was really tough, and to be honest, I always been afraid of that damn kid. He just tough, and he came running with the ball, and he looked at me, I looked at him, and he made a move that he was about to take like a shot, and he was just kick the ball straight in my face, and what I did, I just ran out of the pool, and he walked right into the pool and just started laughing at me, and I started laughing too. I'm like, what did I just do? And everybody just look at me, they're like, they just started laughing, and it was funny at the same time, not funny, and that was it. I mean, everybody just cracked up, and up to now, people I remember stay laughing at me. They're like, what were you thinking? I'm like, he was a big dude, man. I didn't know I don't know what to do with a big Jew, coming ahead of you with a football, you don't know what he's gonna do, so I rather get him where to go and live to die another day. It's a life changing, we all grow older. As you grow older, you need somebody to replace your, memories of you, and that's where they come in. They say, "Oh, you look like a dad." People always tell me I look like my dad. For some reason, I don't know. My dad didn't like me because I look like him. And man, up to now, I just sit down and be like, man, when I take a look at my dad picture, I take a look at me, I just like, man, I look like my dad. Man, I'm just no different from my dad. I'm like, that's why he didn't like me, because I said people you look alike, they don't like you. So, but having kids is fun. I love kids. I love kids. Even before I start having kids, kids always do like me. When they see me, they just run to me. I remember one time I went to visit a family friend in Texas, and I didn't know his mom plays my music in her car while on her way for picking up to school, and he just like, "I'm coming, I'm jumping, I'm not make applause. I'm coming, I'm jumping, I'm not make applause." And I saw that, I'm like, oh boy, what am I doing to this kids, Well, music is music. Liberia, we speak. We got I think about 13, 14 different dialects or languages. So everybody call it a different word and a different meaning in a word, and you spell it. But generally, we speak English because we believe that Liberia was colonized by America, and Liberia was founded by free slaves from America. So we call music generally, but you can call it your different language you want to. The American Liberians that then established Liberia. Yes, and Liberia and America go way back. There's a lot of similarities, but if Liberia can just take a little note and try to better ourselves and try to better Liberia for the sake of our future will be good, but not Liberia. Everybody just want to be politics. Everybody want to be in politics. Everybody want to be politician. Everybody think they can be the best, and they're the best candidate to rule the world or rule the country. It takes a lot to rule a country. You can't just get and say, "Want to rule a country?" It takes a lot. It's not. Everything you do, you gotta be careful what you do. You can't just listen to everybody. You say you want an investor in the country. If you want an investor, how can you get an investor? You should be open for other people to come and own properties in the country. Other people to come and say, "Okay, we want to buy this land. We want to develop. We want to be a company. We want to be a hotel. We want to be this and that." If you're not open to that, how the country gonna be developed? And it's tough. And it's sad to just see Liberia not being united. Not being together. We need to come together as Liberian. And that's one thing we are lacking. We are not together. We are not united at all. Let's give people a chance to do what they got to do. It's not everybody that's going to be a leader. It's not everybody that's going to be in the government. It's not everybody that think they can do better than what the next man is doing. If you think you can do better, where you are, why didn't you do it? So, let mobilize. Let's come together, Liberian. We need to come together. I love America. A great country, a wonderful country. Hey, I just think, God are in this country. There's nowhere like America. Crazy country, a lot of different things. Every day you learn a lot of different things. I came to this country, like some of the words that, in Liberia, we think is so much different, so much different, and I just caught on it very fast. But what can I say about this beautiful country? I love America. As I said, America is like a big brother to Liberia, so God bless America. Well, you know what? I'm not a politician. Everybody got a lot to say, but that don't make you a politician. But what I can say is, hey, you got people that run the government. That's not my place. I don't have nothing to say. But who say who is in charge? The commander in chief. You gotta listen. You gotta. He runs the country. As I say, I'm not a politician. I'm not gonna whisper there, because hey, saying it is not gonna make me be a politician. But what I can do, I can help to better off the country and do, and be inspiration to other people and tell them like, hey, you can do this, you can do that. Forget about the government. We can come together as one and work together as people to be a better world for to live together in peace. But people always fighting each other. Nobody wanna understand this man. This man don't wanna understand the other man. And they don't understand the other man. Everybody just think they're the best. Everybody, they can do it a better way. But we are lacking love. We are lacking, just the togetherness. Where is the togetherness? We're just lacking it. We need to come together. Well, your order will be ready soon. As I said, it'll be ready soon. The 1st of October. You can get your order on my CD. The 1st of October, Puchu Plus. You can get it on all your streaming sites. Just Google Puchu Plus, it will pop up. I got 15 tracks on that CD. Amazing album now. You will be amazed by the work I did. I made all the effort thanks to Gravity Room Records. One love. Oh, a lot of people think it's my way of walking. It's like a gangster way of walk, but no, it's not that. My lame developer, as I said, I got shot in Guinea, and I ended up in America. Long story short, and I got a hip replacement, and one of my leg is 2 inches shorter than the other, so I limped. That's caused my lame, and it's not a gangster walk. It's natural, so. That's the reason because I have a hip replacement. I would fight a werewolf any day. Chimps, I don't stand a chance. That palm are bigger than mine. How many times? Oof. Just one slap, I'll be going to deep coma. Taylor Swift's an amazing artist. She's a beautiful woman. Yeah, girl. Well, thanks for all the good music, Keep doing your work. I'll see you when I get there. Oh, homemade sandwich always the best. Homemade chicken noodles, I'll go for it. Man, I'm from Liberia, man. I love my chicken noodles. What do you think? I'm not gonna neglect my chicken noodles. I love Liberian chicken noodles. Just like the way I love my palm butter rice, my potato green rice, double ghee rice, my pepper soup, dry rice with fried fish, cassava gravy, I love those meals. I'm not gonna give it up for Burger King, McDonald's, but the secret is sometimes you can catch me to Papa's for the chicken sandwich. Oh, look at that boy, you want to laugh at me. Well, y'all know too much, but in Liberia, I remember we call it hippopotamus. That's all I remember. Man, when I was growing up, bro, I remember cow. One thing I remember having my elephant license at the age of 2. You always graduate from the small one to the big one to the grown one. We're having parking lot poop all over the parking lot. It was funny, but my elephant lesson never told me lie. I was always in it. Ride that elephant. Oh man, I love my African dishes. One of my favorite African dishes would be cassava leaf. I love cassava leaf. I mean, if you Google cassava, the leaf on there, that's what kind of grind it and mix it with your preferences for meat and with some red oil or just olive oil. My other preferences, but they go hard, and I love some cassava leaf. First thing you need to go get some cassava leaf. Whether you want goat meat, go get your goat meat. Whether you want some smoked turkey, go get smoked turkey. What kind of fish of the preference you want. Just go get it and get some red oil, some chicken soup and onion, peppers and everything and call me. Within 30 minutes your food should be ready. Well, during my time up there, I know there's things change all over, but during my time we have stoves. We have grocery stores that, like growing people love rice. So, all the stores have rice bags, in my little town, Buchanan. I think I remember about a couple of stores, there was a lot from people from Lebanon. I mean, they were, most of that time was entrepreneurs up there in Liberia, so they have stores. And they sell cereal, they sell rice, cereal, they sell formula, they sell, business needs that, like quicker old meals, you guys say, or, when I used to all the instant stuff, those stuff we cook it from scratch, all the quicker, the old fashioned stuff and all the cool stuff. So, yeah, we have all the stuff. No, I didn't remember no frozen TV dinners, but I know we have frozen fish because we eat a lot of fish. We right by the Atlantic Ocean, so we eat a lot of fish. I remember some frozen fish. Now no TV dinner, all those hot package and cold package. I don't know hot packages. We cook it and eat it. Our hot package, yeah. I remember those times. I don't know hot package and up to now. Oh, it belong coming and it's coming. It's in the process. It's work. It's a lot of. Well, it's coming in the near future.